Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Rule the Waves 2, playing as Great Britain. This is episode, I think 19 now? The year is 1910, and we are at war with France and America. We've had a few fairly inconclusive fights with the French over the past month, and not a whole lot else has happened. We have a number of dreadnoughts under construction. We're doing some extensive refits of some of our older obsolescent ships, mostly adding mines onto our local destroyers. And we're building some modern new destroyers, which should be very cool. Looking forward to getting those in action. We did lose a cruiser. One of our Hermione class cruisers was blown up in our last battle last episode, so that was very unfortunate. There must be something wrong with our ships today, but hopefully we won't have any more of that anytime soon. Let's take a quick check. Last time I forgot that we were still in Rear Admiral's mode. I'm going to switch this over to Captain's mode, not so much for the more detailed control, but so that if I do need to detach ships and send them home, they actually go home and I can maintain control of them actually going home at a reasonable controlled pace so they don't burn out of control and sink themselves by suicide. That particular fate of a number of our ships from the last war was very unfortunate, so I'm not going to let that happen anymore. Other than that, quick review of our research. We have turned down the development of machinery because the next major development isn't expected until 1912. Yeah, that's about it. That covers research. We've covered preferences. Our doctrine, in the last episode, we changed around our ammunition usage, placing much more heavy emphasis on the use of armor-piercing ammunition. So we're going to put that to good use, and it so far has seemed to be working pretty well. Can't wait to try that out against capital ships. All right. Well, there's not a whole lot else we can do for now, so let's move on to our next turn. Alright, so we've got a cruiser action in the Mediterranean. It's not great, but it looks like France doesn't have anything, so I will accept. And they decline. Hooray! Free victory points for me. Alright, and then we also have a coastal raid off the southeastern seaboard of the U.S. This is a medium-sized battle, so a whole lot smaller. And that'll probably be pitting some of our more modern cruisers and our modern destroyers. And hopefully, maybe even a battle cruiser. That would be delightful, wouldn't it? I accept. And it looks like we're actually going to get a fight here. So battle spawns in, and we have 2 Flora-class cruisers. Outstanding! So we get to see how these new modern cruisers work. Alright, our objective is to sink 2 ships, any ship. Oh, this is going to be rough. We don't have a whole lot of time to do it. Alright, well, let's head towards Charleston and see what we can find. Actually, hold on. I forgot. We need to spread out our formation to a search line so we can cover more ground. Alright, there we go. Spread out, form up, and we'll just patrol off the coast of Charleston and see what we can find. Alright, here we go. Unknown ship sighted. We'll turn and engage. Oh, is that a merchant? That looks... Yep, that's a merchant. Okay. I think we've got it under control there. Now it's time. Oh, here we go. We've got another ship. Ah, there we go. That looks like a proper fleet. So we're going to form back up into line ahead. And we're going to pick up our speed. And I'm going to order the flotilla attack. And we're going to reduce game speed to slow so we can control this. Alright, I'm seeing a predicted armored cruiser. I'm not entirely sure I trust that, but we'll see. Meanwhile, let's try and get some damage inflicted on these things. Oh, hey! Louisville-class cruiser. Oh, I do not want to be messing around with that. Alright, so we're going to try and knock out one of these destroyers. Uh-oh. Hold on, we've got a ship circling out of control. And the Doris has rudder damage. Alright. Best way to deal with that is to reduce speed so they can relieve strain on the system while they try and fix it. So hopefully we'll be able to get control back. Ooh, and we have a Tallahassee-class cruiser. Ah, now that's a ship that I can take on. So we're going to try and engage that. And hopefully we can engage just that and not the armored cruiser. Oh my goodness! We just hit that capital ship. That was probably their protected, or their armored cruiser, my bad. So let's see what happens. We'll see if we can get around here and possibly get another hit in. We only have 2 torpedo tubes, 1 on each side, so it'll be a little bit before we get any other shots in. But we'll see if we can get some damage in on this. And the Doris is still circling out of control. Oh, looks like she might be coming back under control. Okay. So we're going to squad max her and see if we can rejoin the fight. I have no idea if we're going to sink that armored cruiser or not, but we can at the very least sink this protected cruiser, put it out of their misery, and then we can claim a glorious victory and head home for tea and medals. All right, looks like we're consistently scoring hits on the Tallahassee. Just onesie-twosies so far, but every little bit adds up. Alright, there we go. Now we're starting to really tell. Oh yeah, look at that damage. 6-inch, 4-inch hits. She's stopped. She's on fire. Alright, and of course all the destroyers decide to fire. The best time to fire. We're going to withdraw the flotilla attack order. And now that she's been hit by torpedoes, it's time to head back. We'll call that a kill, and we'll call that good. Actually, let's do one more sweep by Charleston, see if we can intercept that... oh boy, scoring more hits. See if we can get one more crack at that armored cruiser. So we'll pick up the game speed to normal. And we will spread out to... well, not a full... well, yeah, let's do search line. We're trying to encounter them. Alright, there we go. Objective accomplished. We have formally sunk 2 ships. So we get credit for completing our mission. We'll drop down to cruising speed. And I think that, pretty sure that armored cruiser retreated back to Charleston. I don't think we inflicted enough damage to stop her and sink her outside the harbor. But that's pretty good. We'll switch back to a line ahead. We'll reduce speed to 14 knots, give those stokers a chance to rest, and we will head back to home base. Good job, team. All right, and there they go. Just another few minutes. And there's the end of the battle. Got a little bit of damage. Oh yeah, we heavily damaged that armored cruiser, but it did make it back to port. Sank the protected cruiser, and we sank a transport. Outstanding job. Glorious victory. Let's take a look at the details for that, see how things went in terms of ammunition and damage. Alright, so we did not score very many hits on that armored cruiser, aside from the torpedo. Let's see what damage we actually did cause, though. Oh, she barely made it back. She was very much sinking. Alright, so we had one 6-inch hit that did no damage due to the coal bunker. And then we had a 4-inch hit penetrated superstructure. Excellent. And another one penetrated belt extended. Ooh. I didn't know we could penetrate belt extended armor with 4 inches. That's good to know. Let's see how that Tallahassee did. Oh, so many hits. That was not good. Alright, we're seeing... Okay, so it was bouncing some of those 6-inch hits. So engine room's still very well protected. Which, yeah, 2-inch belt, 1.5-inch deck, that's still pretty solid, all things considered. And a protected cruiser, it's pretty much just a turtleback, so that's still very heavy protection. Alright, and so no engine room damage, that's pretty much the only thing that is protected. We did damage superstructure. So they did try launching torpedoes at me on several occasions. Fortunately, they weren't able to hit anything, so that's good. I see. Here we go. Perforated uptakes. That's the sort of thing that we're looking for. And we get some fore and aft hull hits. That causes flooding, requires reducing speed. Some engine room hits, still not penetrating. We get a belt extended with some splinters damaging the hull. That'll cause some flooding, also reduces speed. Outstanding. Conning tower hits. Ooh, multiple conning tower hits. Oh, that's good. That'll cause some confusion in the command chain, and it'll be out of control for a few minutes while they figure out who's actually in command. And again, those 4-inch secondaries coming in clutch at the end. We're getting turrets knocked out. We're seeing fire control damaged. Outstanding. More superstructure hits. More splinter damage. Oh yeah, that stuff started rolling in fast once we got close enough. Yeah, there we go. And then it was all over. Alright. Well, very good job. We'll close that up. Alright. Outstanding addition to our Battle of Folly Beach. Alright, and then the Royal Sovereign is in the yard with engine problems. That is unfortunate. And the enemy wants a negotiated peace without border changes or reparations. I disagree. We should not let them get off lightly. Continued operations will secure our total victory. Once we've had a chance to actually launch an invasion, and nope, didn't work. Okay, so a peace is concluded with considerable reparations if they want to call 4 points considerable reparations, which I disagree, but okay. Alright, so we have options. Alright. So we've got 4 points to spend, and my primary objectives are to secure the Caribbean against threats. So I definitely want to take that French territory there. So that was the Antilles, so definitely taking that. And then other options in the area. Well, there's Guantanamo Bay, that's always a good one. Can't do Panama, or can't do Puerto Rico, unfortunately. So not a whole lot we can do there. We could push straight for Panama, pass on the Antilles and Guantanamo, and just take Panama, which would be significant. That'd give us direct military control of all major transits outside and around the continent. I don't know. That is very tempting. I think I will do that. So we'll take Panama as reparations, and then when the canal opens, then we will have access to that. Alright. So now that that's done, I think it's time to take all of our ships back to reserve. And that is nowhere near going to pay for everything that needs to happen. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. So first things first, we're going to throw the Dependence class into their rebuilds. So we'll get that going. Don't want to have to worry about that anymore. In fact, we'll take the other ones as well. So we're going to rebuild those two. So we get them all reset at the same time. The Derwents, we'll send those in for rebuilds as well. Again, just so I don't have to worry about it. And then we've got some mothballing we got to do. Alright, so all of these older pre-dreads, we're going to throw straight into mothballs. In fact, it might even be time to scrap these things and just keep the semi-dreads. Alright, all of our dreadnoughts need to move home. Oops, here we go. So we'll take all of these and we'll pull them back to Northern Europe. Oops, one more. And then we'll take the camper downs. We'll move those back to Northern Europe. This is the painful part about ending a war. You have to bring all your ships home and then you can put them in reserve. Alright, and then all of these armored cruisers can quite solidly go into mothballs at this point. The Hood needs to come home, so we'll take that. We'll move it back to Northern Europe. And then we have... Alright, we've got ships in the Med that need to come home. So we'll move those home. We've got ships in the Caribbean that need to come home, so we'll move those home. And then we've got more ships on the East Coast that need to come home, so we'll bring those back. We'll take these Hermione class and we're going to mothball those. And we will do the same with all of these Intrepid class. And then all of these Jed class, they're okay for now. They will need some modernizations, but for now we can throw these guys into mothballs. We'll take these fellows and move them home. So we'll drag them back to Northern Europe. And then we also have these fellows also need to move back to Northern Europe. There we go. Well, that is all set. Well, aside from the ones that still need repairs. And that's not a whole lot of price savings, but it'll have to do. Now the question is, what do I do with these pre-dreadnoughts? Let's take a look. So according to the almanac, my pre-dreadnoughts do account for a significant amount of tonnage. So that is significant. And both America and France still have significant numbers of pre-dreadnoughts as well. But, actually looking at that, they don't even cost all that much when they're in mothballs. So I think for now, they're okay. And we'll take these bar floors and we'll put those in mothballs as well. Save price there. And then we'll keep our dreadnoughts, all of those fine ships, in reserve, and that should cover all of our capital ship requirements. I think these pre-dreadnoughts will still have a use, at least through the next war, at least as far as tonnage goes, but let's see, how much does that cost? So if we... Alright, so we pull up our calculator right here, and we're looking at 13 of these ships at 46 apiece. Wow, that's the same maintenance as one of these dreadnoughts on active. So yeah, that is actually worth keeping around for right now. And these Europas are also very cheap for right now as well, worth keeping around. So I think we will actually keep these ships around, at least through the next war. We'll try and build up our battle cruiser and dreadnought fleet as much as possible until then, so we can actually scrap these ships in the future, because they are definitely starting to represent a weakness in the fleet. Prey dreadnoughts are much more likely to catch on fire than any other class of ship. Alright, but for right now, we've got to get these ships back home, so we're going to go on to one more turn. Prime Minister is displeased with the lack of ships on foreign stations. Well, that is unfortunate. We have all sorts of ships finishing up their rebuilds. Ah, yeah, there we go. I wish they would tell me about that before the Prime Minister gets upset with me, but oh well. Alright, and we have... Oh, we can take both of these guys and send them on foreign stations. And then we can start pulling some of these other ships in. Alright, so we have a extensive list of Intrepid class. I'll need to go on to mothballs here. And we'll take these Flora class and we'll put those on reserve. Alright, there we go. We have all of these Derwents that just finished up. We're going to put those straight into mothballs. And then here's all these other ships that just came back. We're going to mothball those too. Oop, we got one more ship left in the North American East Coast. That was the one that needed repairs earlier, so we'll tell him to go home. And now we have all of these capital ships are home, so we'll put those in reserve. There we go. We'll take this Hood class and we'll throw it in reserve as well. And, well, we are almost back in the black. Outstanding. Let's see how this construction and refit program is going. We've still got Stour class coming out. Got all of these Derwents chugging along. And Dependence class. So once those guys come out, that should free up some budget. Once these destroyers finish, that'll finish up some budget as well. So that's good. Let's see, so that's 4 Stour class right there. And then we have another 10 there. Total of 14, I think that's pretty good. 14 modern destroyers and a whole metric butt ton. 32 Jed class. Oh wow, that's a lot. The good news is these Jed class will be useful for trade protection and anti-submarine warfare later on. 600 tons is the smallest size that we can eventually equip additional anti-submarine weaponry. Same thing with the 900-ton Stour class. That 900 tons is also a dividing point for anti-submarine warfare. So that'll be good to have. Eventually those ships will become the front line for my trade protection duties. Alright, well we've gotten all of our ships back. And aside from that one Anson class still in the yards. And one more Comus class. Alright, let's see if we can start rotating some of these other Comuses in for a refit as well. In fact, I bet we can probably send some of our Floras on foreign station. So let's start grabbing some of these Comuses and pulling them back. So because these are foreign station ships, or sorry, what was it? Colonial service ships, they are worth 25% more. So this 4,000 ton ship is actually worth 5,000 tons of foreign station. And then these Flora class, since they are also foreign station ships, they are actually worth 7,500 points. So each one of these is 1.5 one of these. So if I were to take 3 of these, then I can replace them with two of, where was it? Two of those. All right, so I'm going to take 6 of these ships, and I'm going to begin rebuilding them. All right, there we go. And then I can take 4 of these and send them on foreign stations, and that should math right out. Alright, and we do have one other ship. So I think we're going to take one more Comus class and send that in for rebuild. There we go. We'll take that. Oh, and we're still good. Let's actually take one more then. Alright, there we go. 2,000 tons. Yeah, we can grab another one. Alright, rebuild. One more. There we go. And then we take this last Flora class, and we'll put that on foreign station, and there we go. We're all good. Alright, so that covers all of our different ships. We've got still got a lot of Comus class to refit. There's 28 of these things. What a monstrous fleet. Alright. And that is all set. Let's move on to our next turn. Oh no. More than half the fleet tonnage in mothballs. That is unacceptable. And that is entirely due to sending those ships to rebuild. Alright, so we need to pull something else out of mothballs. Let's see, what is a suitable ship to pull out? I want something cheap. So I think we're going to grab one of these Ansons. So we're going to reserve fleet that. Nope, still not enough. We're going to reserve fleet that. Still not enough. Oh my. Reserve fleet that. Reserve fleet that. Oh, come on. What does this take? There we go. Alright, an anti-Japanese rebellion has broken up in the New Hebrides. Oh my, and the Prime Minister is displeased that we have the smallest tonnage of large cruisers in service or building. Well, I don't particularly mind. If the other nations want to waste their resources on such ships, then that is fine by me. Alright. So that is all set, and we are starting to get... Let's put those guys in mothballs. We're starting to get some ships back from refit. There we go. Take that guy back. Fastest way to get him home is send him in for refit. Alright. Let's double check our construction queue. Alright, so we've got this outstanding incomparable class. I am very happy with those ships. And look at those things. Aren't they nice? They're fast, they're well armed, they're well protected for a battlecruiser. These things I'll pit against any other battlecruiser that any other nation may build now or in the near future. They might not be completely future-proof, but they're looking pretty solid. Alright. So sure, if other nations want to waste their resources on poorly protected capital ships that are worth lots of VPs and not a whole lot of combat strength, that is fine by me. Yeah, so Germany has 3 under construction. France has 6. Oh my goodness. Russia's building a lot. America is building some. Japan is building so many. Yeah, that is a lot. And Germany also has a lot of armored cruisers too. Oh wow. 24 armored cruisers for Germany, 20 for the USA. Wow. Alright, well, it's always been about the dreadnoughts for me. Maintain our superiority in dreadnought construction. Insufficient ships on foreign station? No, I am not going to continue anyway. I'm going to... I'm going to take one of these ships. Here we go. I'm going to take one random ship and put it on foreign station to fill things in for right now. There we go. All good. Ooh. Reliable delay fuses increases AP shell damage. Well, that's always good. And rebels in New Hebrides have defeated Japanese forces. Well, that sucks for the Japanese. And US scientists have invented torpedo protection too. Oh, come on, let's steal that from them. How's my research doing? Damage control. Yeah, we can afford to bump that up some. We'll put that up to high. Alright, so that's coming along quite nicely. And we finally got that Anson back. So we're going to mothball that fellow. Alright, next turn. We're starting to get ships finishing their reconstruction. One of our agents has been caught in Japan. Well, they're not our ally anymore, so not my concern. And the French have invented torpedo protection too. Oh my. Looks like those allies have been sharing technology. I do not like that. Actually, I do like that. It's twice the chance of stealing technology from them. But I do not like the fact that they have torpedo protection too, and I do not. So we'll have to do something about that. Okay, our formidable class dreadnoughts are almost out, which means it is time to evaluate a new dreadnought and new battlecruiser possibly. So let's take a quick look at the Goliath class. And see what kinds of changes. Alright, so there's not a whole lot of savings there. We've only gotten 100 tons worth of weight savings. Yeah, it's not worth doing a brand new design. What about the incomparable class? Double check on that. Yeah, again, no significant savings here. So I do think it is time to lay down another ship. And I think what it'll be is another incomparable class. How we're going to pay for it? I have no idea. But that's a question for Parliament to answer, not for me to answer. So we're going to build another incomparable class. There we go. This one is going to be the Indomitable. Alright, I can jive with that. There we go. Ship laid down. Let's review all of our ships that have come out of refit. So we're starting to get these Comus class coming out. Let's see how... Let's do a quick double check on price efficiency. So when the Comus is on foreign stations, they cost 79 maintenance. When these Floras are on foreign station, they cost 145. So we're looking at a 2 to 3 ratio. So 145 times 2 is 290. Or for the Comus class, 79 times 3, 237. Okay, so the Comus class are very much still the more cost-efficient choice. So I should still be trying to maintain those on foreign station. Alright. So we're going to put this guy on reserve for right now until some of the other ships come out. And then we'll start pulling these floras off of foreign station. Meanwhile, we've got some Derwents that have come out of the yard, so we'll put those back in mothballs. Pinch every penny out of them, and then we have a whole stack of Dependence class. So we're going to take all of those, and we're going to throw them into mothballs. Alright, and this one random Corvette, we're going to move that back home. See if we can put that in back in mothballs. Pinch those last few pennies. Alright, so we have a whole stack of Comus coming out of the yards next turn, so that'll be good. That'll let us drag a few more Comus in for refits. And, oh, we almost have one more Flora finishing up. Alright, well, let's move on to our next turn. And once again, this fleet tonnage in mothballs is rearing its ugly head. Alright, let's take one more Anson out of mothballs. So they do seem to be our cheapest. Again with that foreign station stuff. This is so frustrating. Alright, so we're getting a good look at this Texas-class battleship. I think we've seen this before. Very heavy armor belt, very light armament. So yeah, these are ships that we can very much take on right now. And that was America's most recent design at the beginning of the war. So good to get a good view at those. Alright. Okay, so we've had a number of ships come out of the yards, so we can take these 9 ships, and we're going to put them straight on foreign station, and we can take another 9 of these older ships and send them to foreign station, or send them in for refit. There we go, there's 9, and we're going to rebuild to the 1910 version. And we do still need to have one ship on foreign station. So we're going to put that on foreign station. We're going to move it to Caribbean. And then next turn we're going to have to take it off of foreign station so it doesn't wander off. Alright, France is interested in buying diesel engines. I am fine with that. Oh, we've got better 10-inch guns. And we've also unlocked 16-inch guns. Oh, wow. That's quite a step up. Well, not hugely, but 16-inch guns are very much a late game, end game type gun. 15-inch are good enough for end game, but they're not great. Not compared to the 16-inch and 17-inch rifles. So that is something that I may consider incorporating into future designs. Alright, and for some reason we have a random Comus on active fleet. Let's fix that. We'll throw that guy on foreign station. And that means there's one more ship that we can drag in for rebuild. There we go. And that's all good. And then we had a Corvette to take on active fleet. There we go. And that stuff's all covered. These Jeds are all covered. Alright. And we are actively modernizing our Comus class. All of those look good. At some point we'll have to take the hood in for a rebuild. Let's take a look at what that would... Let's take a look and see what that would require. So we'll open design. So this ship currently has 10-inch -1s and 6-inch -1s. We can't switch out for a better fire control yet, so it's probably not quite worth it yet, but we could upgrade to 10-inch guns. We could upgrade to better 6-inch guns, and that would certainly extend the life expectancy of this ship quite a bit. Let's see what the performance of those is. Oh yeah, oh wow, 15,000 yards range. That's pretty significant. Not a huge step up in terms of penetration, but a big step up in range. That's significant. I'm going to hold off on that, see if we can hold out for a single refit where we incorporate both fire control and better guns, but not a huge concern right now. For now, let's keep on chugging along. Looks like Italy has finally invented 14-inch guns. Japan has finally discovered central firing. So the third world, or the second world nations are starting to catch up into the dreadnought arms race. Alright, and it is time to build some more destroyers. I know we've got a lot of Stour class, but 14 is not enough. I want more. And I know people may say that I'm running my navy into the ground. I'm extreme deficit spending, but it is worth it to have good modern ships that are capable of beating anyone in a fight. So we'll get some more Stour class destroyers. We'll keep chugging right along there. Alright, next turn. And here we've got another detail on the Rhode Island class. Again, these ships are still not comparable to ours. Alright, so Spy from France has been discovered. What should we do? This is our best opportunity to drive up tension, so let's give it maximum publicity and denounce the aggressive policies of France. Drive up those tensions and raise our budget. Ooh. So research breakthrough, 5+ centerline turrets. Well, I like that. I like that quite a bit. It means I can finally have my dream of building a devastating turret farm of a battleship. Let's take a look. Alright, so we'll auto-design a dreadnought real quick. I don't know why they'd call that a battle cruiser when I wanted a dreadnought. There we go, that's a proper dreadnought. We'll drop that down, we'll swap over to oil firing, and let's do something about those gun turrets. Alrighty, this is how you do it. Alright, double turrets, and I want A, B, C. We're going to skip the wing turrets since those are a not effective use of weight. We'll throw on a Q and an L. Let's put on an R as well. And then we'll do a WXY. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Now, obviously, there's no way I can build a ship with this many 16-inch guns, so we'll just drop those down in caliber a little bit. There we go. We'll drop our secondaries down a little bit. We'll put on our standard tertiary battery as well. And, oh my, this is actually starting to look pretty good. We'll throw on some torpedo defense. We'll drop down that belt. Belt armor is overrated anyway. And we'll start bumping up our tonnage. Can we build this? At 35,000 tons? Yes, we can. Oh my, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 centerline turrets. Let's do a quick check. Too many centerline gun and torpedo mounts. Rate of fire mod -10. What do you mean design not legal? Looks like I do have to drop a turret or two. Alright, well in that case, we're going to drop that C turret. since it's a fairly ugly turret anyway. So we'll ditch that. One more check. No, I still don't like it. Alright, in that case, we'll ditch that L turret. One more check. Aha! And we can build it. We'll bump that armor up. There we go, 12-inch belt. Oh, we can do better than that. We can do a 14-inch belt. I'd like a little bit more deck there. Nope. Drop it down to a 13.5-inch. And that is achievable. There we go. We'll drop our secondary armor down a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turrets. I seem to remember another British battleship built with 7 turrets. The Agincourt. Well, that was funny, but I don't think I'll actually build it. That many turrets is just begging for critical hits, so I will pass on that. Much better to have fewer larger caliber gun turrets that are better protected. Real speak there. Alright, let's double check our construction here. We've got some destroyers that need to go into mothballs. That looks good. We've got a Derwent that is in active fleet. We'll fix that. We've got a Flora that is in workup. And that is something we can send to foreign stations and call in some of these other Comus for refits. So we're going to start pulling ships off foreign station. We'll start rebuilding those. Alright, that's a 1. And I think that's all that we can do for right now. Don't quite have the budget to handle more. Do we have any other ships that I can send? I know we've been getting a lot of... There we go. Yeah, we do. Alright, so we'll send this fellow to foreign station. And that's 1 more ship that we can rebuild. There we go. And this Flora is going to get sent to foreign station as well. There we go. All that stuff is taken care of. And I think it's time for our next turn. Alright, new docks completed. Our Dreadnought Illustrious is completed. We've got 8 cruisers coming out of the yards. Oh my, this should save quite a bit of money here. Alright, well, first things first, with our docks completed, time to build some more docks. We had 8 cruisers come out of the yards right here. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there we go. 8. There we go. We'll send all of those to foreign station. And then we can grab 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll send all of those in for refits. There we go. And then we have a Formidable class, our next significant step up in firepower. Oh yeah, that's such a good looking ship. Not quite as good as the Goliath class, but it's still a very good ship. Those will see some very effective use. Alright, now that we're starting to save some money from battleship completion, I think it's time to order another Goliath. And this one's going to be called the Benbow. Okay, I'm fine with that. And there we go. Spend that money as quick as it comes in. Between the completion of the Formidable and the Indefatigable, that should make up for most of our expenses. And then we can work on modernizing and constructing cruisers. Alright. Let's move on to our next turn. Our scientists have discovered the exciting new research area of naval aviation lighter than air. Naval intelligence has hatched a plan to engineer a coup in Norway that will install a pro-British regime. They're waiting for your approval. Norway, I believe, is Russian territory right now. Well, we've got very low tensions with them. They've got very few capital ships in comparison to us. They've got plenty of pre-dreadnoughts, but we all know how well that'll stack up. And they are very easily blockaded as well. Alright, well, I for one believe that a war with Russia is entirely a good thing. Certainly tensions with Russia are a good thing. A splendid initiative. Go ahead. A pro-Russian coup has taken place in Norway? Well, that didn't sound like a success. That sounds like exactly the opposite of what was supposed to happen. Very suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Methinks those intelligence operatives were acting counter to our interests. Well, the good news is now that it's owned by Russia, it is a potential invasion target. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a little bit out of range. I don't think we can declare that as an invasion target. Now, who knows? That might just be distortion due to map effects. I'm pretty sure that's actually a little bit closer than the map shows, now that this is a square projection map, not an actual globe. So we've definitely seen in previous games these circles are not entirely 100% accurate as far as what you can and cannot invade. And it may actually be driven by cities within reach, not the actual flag at the center of the territory. So who knows, maybe we will be able to liberate Norway from the Russians. Could certainly use some tensions and maybe another war to do so. Meanwhile, we'll continue construction on our capital ships. And oh, would you look at the time? It's over 50 minutes. I think we'll have to call this to a close. Until next time, Kotori87, signing out.